Joe, what happened on Mars a million years ago? What did it look like? Set the scene for us.
Human beings that were trapped in a place where the atmosphere was turning bad. Evidently, there's some kind of calamity here. And so I started thinking maybe this is a future target. They're just really big people. They're like twice our size, 12 feet tall. They're dying, and these pyramidal places are like hibernation chambers.
Pyramids?
It shows a big pyramid. It shows an old fort. It shows a wall that's collapsed.
On Mars?
And yeah. Stanford Research Institute, and find out all you can about it, and then come back and brief me. And that's when I went and did these 6 remote viewings.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you were almost doing it on behalf of this general.
Yeah, I was just collecting information.
You were collecting information, and then you ended up actually a part of the program.
And then when I came back, he said, I went down to his office and my desk was empty.
Yeah.
All my stuff was gone.
Yeah.
I said, what happened? He said, I'm going to have to assign you to Fort Meade for this project.
Wow.
And it's like, oh, please don't do that.
Mm-hmm. Joe, what happened on Mars a million years ago? What did it look like? Set the scene for us.
Well, going back to that, DOD decided, since I had spontaneous out-of-bodies, that I should try to learn how to control them, to see whether I could collect intelligence doing that too. So they hired Bob Monroe to help me with that, because he's the guy, journeys out of the body guy. So they actually paid him to train me. So every Thursday night, I would leave right after I finished the remote viewings. I would drive down to the institute here in this town and crash. I get there about 11. And then early in the morning on Friday, I would start working in the lab with Bob. We worked there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I go to bed Sunday night, and I get up at 4 a.m. or whatever and drive back to Fort Meade and do remote viewing. So I did that for a long time, many months. And so I was being trained in that when I was taking a nap. It was a Saturday evening. I'd been working for 2 days with Bob, so I was tired. So he was doing some kind of work in the lab, and I was taking a nap in the isolation chamber we have in the lab. And he woke me up. He said, I have some people here from DOD. They brought a target. And I said, oh, really? He said, yeah, I have the envelope in my shirt pocket. They gave him a sealed envelope. He folded over, put it in his shirt pocket. And I have a card here with GPS locations. So I'll read them to you and you tell me what's there. So the first GPS location he read was a huge pyramid. And I said, right away, I said, this must be a new discovery because it's huge. It's way bigger than the one at Giza. And it's got monster rooms inside, which is not making any sense to me at all. That's okay. Just report on what you're seeing. So I did that. So I went through 6 of the 7 targets, and whatever was there, I described it. And it turns out everything I described was there. Mm. And I came out of there. I couldn't do the 7th because I was exhausted, so I stopped. And at the end, I started getting an image of human beings that were trapped in a place where the atmosphere was turning bad. I couldn't figure that out. So I said to Bob, I said, the sun looks really weird. Mm. And he said, I don't care about the sun. Just tell me what's going on. So I said, evidently there's some kind of calamity here. And so I started thinking maybe this is a future target. I didn't know. But the whole time I thought I was on Earth and it was a new discovery. And so I came out of there and I said, it's obvious that these people are dying for some reason, but they're human. They're just really big people. They're like twice our size, 12 feet tall, but they're just like us. And they're dying, and these pyramidal places are like hibernation chambers. They're trying to survive until somebody comes to save them. And he says, well, what is this target? It's just like a new discovery or something. And the guy from DOD said, Bob Monroe has the target in his pocket. So I pulled it out of my shirt pocket, opened it up. It said Mars, 1 million BC, which made me angry. And I'll tell you why. I hate doing a target where I cannot prove ground truth, because then I don't know if it's real or I'm inventing it. It doesn't do me any good. And I can't actually sit there and say, this is exactly 100% correct.
It's unfalsifiable.
Yeah, unfalsifiable, but unprovable.
Mm-hmm.
So it made me angry. So I said, give me the card. I took the card and the envelope, put it in my shirt pocket. I said, the next time I'm at JPL, Jet Propulsion Lab in California, I'm going to find out where they have negatives of these locations and get them. Mm-hmm. And Bob said, they'll never give that to you. And I said, they damn well better, because we pay for all those pictures with our taxes.
Yep.
They can't classify those pictures because they're in space. So next time I was in California, I went to JPL, and they have a big counter where you go in and buy pictures of space. So I went up to the counter, and the guy said, how can I help you? And I said, I have this card here, and I handed it to him. And he looked at it, and I said, I'd like to see the 4x4 negatives for those locations on that card. And he went, oh, this is the old city on Mars. And he turned around, pulled a drawer open, and gave me a packet. It had all the negatives inside. So they're in my book, Mind Trek.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do the negatives show?
It shows exactly what I described.
It shows pyramids?
It shows a big pyramid. It shows an old fort. It shows a wall that's collapsed.
On Mars?
And yeah.
Can I see them?
Yeah. I'll get a copy of my book downstairs, bring it up and show it to you. I mean.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's not the coolest thing.
That's so cool, though. You're saying that you remote viewed a pyramid on Mars 1 million years ago, and we found, how do we have imagery of that?
They're mapping Mars. But that's not the coolest thing.
So it's negative images of those locations now on Mars.
Yeah.
And you can see the pyramids.
They're heavily worn. They're just much damage to them.
But it's clear they're pyramids.
Yeah.
That look like they were man-made.
Yeah. In fact.
Why do they look like they're man-made?
Well, I'll give you the reason why I know they're man-made.
Okay.
There's an impact crater. And on the side of the impact crater is a triangular piece of land.
Yeah.
That obviously has been constructed there. And in the center of that is a 4-sided pyramid. Now, here's the cool part. You know the place of the camera, which is circling Mars. You know exactly where it is when I took that picture. You know where the sun is in relationship. So you know by the shadow, you can compute the size of the impact crater and its sides by the shadow of the sides. The side shadow in this particular case was 1/4 of an inch. That 1/4 of an inch represents about 3,000 feet. So the impact crater walls are 3,000 feet high. That 4-sided pyramid on that little triangle piece of land on the edge of the impact crater has got a shadow 2.5 inches long. Now tell me how tall that is. That's not a pyramid, that's a shard. And it's thousands of feet tall. And I actually asked the guy at JPL, I went many times at JPL, I said, what the hell is that? I don't know. Best guess is it grew there. And I said, you're out your mind. If it was an impact crater that occurred after it was there, it would have blown it away.
I think it was from an atom.
It was put there after the impact crater.
The shard was put there after the impact crater. By who?
So right.
What?
Exactly.
And what would I'm even trying to think of what the purpose of the shard would be.
Don't know.
That's fascinating. Do you have images of that?
Yeah. But here's the thing. Okay?
This is awesome.
I went out of my way to get a hold of other negatives. And each negative is probably 50 by 50 miles on Mars. So you have to look at that negative over a long period of time, line by line by line. I have probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 60-something photographs of things on Mars that are clearly alien.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what else?